Hey there, my name is Matt. I work in the support department here at Journyx. Today I'm going to show you how to create or add a new user to the Journyx timesheet system. I'll be showing you how to do this on version 8.9. If you're running an older version, you might want to go ahead and contact your sales rep and see about updating. Either way, it should work, as the process is about the same no matter the version of Journyx timesheet. Let's go ahead and get started. Here we are on the sitemap page. Let's go ahead and create a new user. Under the management menu, you'll see Users, Manage Users. Go ahead and click on the Manage Users link. Here we'll see the Manage Users screen. On this screen you'll have a search area where you can search for existing users, and then by default you'll see at least 10 of your current users. At this point we only have 2 users in the system. Let's go ahead and create that new user. Down here at the bottom right there's a Create User button. Let's go ahead and click on it. Here we are on the screen that allows you to create a new user. Here you'll see many fields to choose from that you can fill out the pertinent information for this specific user. In this case we're going to fill out the basics, such as username. Let's call him Test. And full name, let's call him Test User. As far as the passwords go, if you leave these fields blank, the password will be the same as the username. So in this case, if we leave these 2 fields blank, the password for this user will be Test. So his username will be Test, and his default initial password will be Test. Once he logs in for the first time, it will ask him to change that password. If you decide to set a new password for the user will not be asked to change the password. So if you want them to set their own password, you'll want to go ahead and leave these blank as you're creating the user. Alright, the next area we're going to want to look at is roles. In the roles area you'll see many default options. In this area, at this point in time, if you want the user to just be a time entering user and nothing else, you'll want to use the time user option. If you want this user to be able to enter time, expense, and mileage, then you'll want to choose the user option. If you want a more detailed description of what all these default roles are, you can go to the Help menu to Help for this page, and it will give you all the specifics of these default roles. Also, you'll want to select the group that this user will be in. Right now, by default, the only group that exists on this default install of Journyx Timesheet 8.9 is the All group. This is the group where all objects within the system, users, projects, pay types, bill types, so forth, all currently reside. So at this point, if you create no other groups and all of your users and projects and whatnot are all in this group, then your user will have access to all of them and be able to log time against all of them. Moving on, in this area we'll see the entry screen options. You have time entry screens, expense entry screens, and mileage entry screens, which are each self-explanatory. At this point I'm going to choose the standard time entry grid. These are all default entry screens that are in the system. You can go in and create your own if you wish, but I'm going to go ahead and go with the defaults. You also have an option for approval plans. This is the method by which your user would submit their timesheet to a manager or supervisor to be able to have that time approved and then go on to whatever process you have next, such as payroll or billing and so forth. This next area, period assignments, is a very important area. By default you have weekly. It'll be a 7-day period of time that shows up on their entry screen. At any rate, you would select whatever the appropriate time period for your company is for each of these areas as they apply appropriately for this specific user. Now, in custom fields, you have several different options to choose from. Again, none of these have to be filled out. None of them are required fields. But in general, you're going to want to put an email address in for the user in case they need to be able to have information, reminders and whatnot emailed to them. That would be the email address used here. You would also probably want to go ahead and set the start date for your user. At any rate, go ahead and fill out the appropriate fields here. Once those are filled out, you can go ahead and click the Save button. That then creates your user in the system. And if we go back to the Manage Users page, you'll see that our user, test user, is there. And that's all there is to it. Thanks very much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful time using Journyx Timesheet. Thank you.